Hello, hello. Welcome to the daily political tarot and astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you for being here. I'm here literally every single day of the year to take your political questions out of the chat. Just leave your questions in the chat before I come on. We have epic troll slayers. You have kept us safe for years. Thank you. And we have got a fantastic community because you have been so kind to each other and so kind to me. Thank you. Hang on, let me turn this light on. There we go. If you're watching on replay, hello. You go down in the description box. All the questions are listed there. I timestamp them as I go. So you can pick and choose what you're interested in, or you can watch back on a higher speed, or whatever works best for you. I'm sorry. Rose Blue just put, hey, it's been reported that Khamenei has been killed. Whoa. Okay. That changed. I have so much information. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. But let me have a news. I imagine that wouldn't that be headline news? Where did you hear that, Rose Blue? U.S. Israeli attack and Israel attack Iran as Trump urges Iranians to seize power. Yeah. Oh, President Blunderdum. Thank you, Marianne. Yes, like and subscribe. It's free. Yes. Rose Blue says, be right back. Hold on. Okay. BBC saying Iran says it has hit U.S. base in Bahrain. World is split over military action. Okay, I'm not seeing any. Joyce says Autumn has more details in the media. I just pull from everywhere and astrology. So I haven't heard. Oh, safe. Mayor says Iran's supreme leader is safe after U.S. strikes. Okay. Thank you. That's what I thought. Okay. Oh, all right. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. All right. Let me just start at the top. Okay. It is Sarah's day off, so that was so I've had no help. I have just grabbed as much information as I can. It's not going to be as polished as I want it to be, but we're just going to start and start at the top. I'm going to read some stuff to you from my notes. Okay, so I am calling this is Operation. I'm calling it Operation Epic Tantrum. Operation Epic Distraction. Yeah. All right. So what happened was basically really, really early this morning, like 1 a.m. our time, somewhere around there. Israel and the U.S. started dropping bombs on Iran, specifically Tehran. But here it was called Operation Epic Fury, please. And in Israel, it's called Operation Roaring Lion, in case you run across those. And then Dumpster Fire came out and did a public announcement. It's like an 8-minute pre-recorded speech, something about it. It was so completely forgettable and infuriating. Because one of the things Trump did is he called for regime change. Nothing like just pouring more fuel on the fire. Exactly, Iron Cauldron. Operation Epstein Fury. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he said, the Iranian people, you should now rise up against your leader. Great. Just flipping great. I had heard, and I have subsequently been, it turns out it's from verified news sources, that Trump had gone to the Pentagon and said, you know what you did with Maduro in Venezuela? I want you to do that exact same thing with the Ayatollah. And the Pentagon said, I'm paraphrasing, are you high? This is not some tin pot dictator what have you. This is a much bigger deal. They said, we can't do that. And then he threw a tantrum. Surprise. So when they finally did attack Iran, they had this list of places they had a list of places they wanted to attack. And a lot of it was trying to get the Ayatollah. Oh, hell's bells. I was up and freaking out. My grandson is here. I just cuddled as nearest I could to him. Oh, bless. No. Look, hang on. I'm trying to give information, but that just doesn't mean that the end is nigh. Okay, we are unhappy, but we can tell the little ones that they're safe. We're safe here. Okay, we're okay right now. All right, so I'm going to continue giving information, but hugs to the little ones. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. All right. All right. So, Israeli strikes hit a girls' elementary school that killed at least 85 students. Great. That's being verified. And then a second school was hit. And here's the thing. These strikes came hours after Oman announced a breakthrough in the nuclear talks. Yeah. The nuclear talks, yeah, there had been, Iran had just made major concessions. And Israel and dumpster fire just went, too bad. Iran retaliated with missiles across the entire Middle East, targeting Israel and U.S. bases in Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, UAE, Jordan, Syria, and Iraq. Khamenei's compound has been damaged, status unknown, but it said he's okay. And we haven't even started in on congressional authorization. Oil prices spiking. France has called an emergency UN meeting. I'm not surprised. Fetterman broke with Democrats to support the strikes. We're shocked, so shocked. And Israel's also striking Lebanon in the latest ceasefire violation, because of course they are. Okay, so I tried to get as much astrological information. Now, that's most of the that is most of the factual information. Let me see if I can see this a little bit better. All right, those are more questions I have. So those are there. And over here, okay, and the next thing we're going to talk about is the AI, Anthropic, Hegseth, OpenAI thing, because that's that's actually going to turn out to be really important. Okay, there was an 8-minute pre-recorded Truth Social video, and now let me grab this. All right, let me go down to the bottom. Sorry about this. It's taking me a minute. So I ran the chart for Operation Epic Tantrum. It has its own chart. Things that happen, any kind of conflict, any kind of really anything. I mean, technically, if you have reason for there to be a chart for you to, when you tied your shoelaces yesterday, there's a chart for when you tied your shoelaces yesterday, if you have some reason to want it. So any kind of anything, any moment in space-time can be a chart here on Earth. So, and I only say here on Earth because we have thousands of years of, certainly hundreds of years of observational information. So once we go to Mars, once we go outside of the solar system, we're going to have to gather more information. But anyway, I digress. Just want to make that clear. There is a chart for this attack, so I ran it. And what it is saying, the attack happened during the day. The sun was up, which was calculated to catch the air defenses off guard. And the first target was apparently Khamenei's compound. That put Uranus on the ascendant. And Uranus is shock value. And the ascendant is you're putting your face forward. So the shock is the face of this event. Unexpected, broad daylight, nobody saw it coming. Nobody saw it coming. You know what I mean? The midheaven, the top of the chart, has Pluto on it. The god of the underworld. Pluto is authoritarianism. It's it can be this overwhelming death and rebirth energy. Plutonium. I'm not saying this is going to be nuclear, but Pluto rules plutonium, and so it can either, warm the toes of every kitty and warm up grandma's cocoa in a city, or it can, decide to explode and make the area uninhabitable for 10,000 years. That's Pluto. It's this powerhouse, and it's, use this carefully. And it's sitting right on the midheaven. Great. So this is about power. And apparently that's the most precise angle aspect. So Mars and Pluto are both in the 10th house. So it's a public act of domination. We know that Saturn is conjunct Neptune in Aries. We've been talking about that. So because Saturn and Neptune are conjunct in Aries, but it's Neptune, you get, it's in the 12th house. So you get hidden costs, fog of war, a price we can't see yet. There's something about this that is in the house of hidden things. Mercury is retrograde. There's a huge stellium, a whole group of planets in the 11th house. And so the stated rationale why they're doing this, it's in Mercury retrograde, so it's not the real story. The North Node is conjunct the Sun, so because we're just off of an eclipse. So fated turning point. This was always going to happen, or the chart says it feels that way. And this is not over. I would love to say that this is going to be the end of it, that it's one and done. The problem is that Saturn, that is that Neptune on the base of the US chart and Saturn nearby, and all of that in Aries, which is the battlefield, ruled by Mars, the god of war. From what I'm seeing in the charts, what it looks like is, even if this calms down after a bit, this is one of those things where everybody told Trump, don't move the U.S. embassy to Jerusalem. Don't do it. Don't do it. Bad idea. Bad things will happen. And he did it anyway. And Kushner was all happy. Right? That when Hamas attacked Israel in that heinous October attack. They said that the planning for that started as soon as the embassy was moved. I do not like that this attack is happening at the beginning of Aries. First degree of Aries, we're talking right there. There's a whole lot of Aries, more Aries to come. So the other thing to keep in mind, yes, Gloria, Bibi is Kushner's godfather. Yeah. So anyway, now, when I've been reading on this, I haven't been getting the worst of the worst of the worst cards. And that gives me some hope. Okay, so how is this going to affect Trump? Because I did look that up too. Let me go down over here. And again, I'm sorry I don't have graphics and I don't have everything as tied up as I like it to be. Oh, this page won't load. There it is. Okay. Yeah. My notes here. All right. How's this going to affect the U.S.? Neptune. Oh, hang on a second. Sun trines Sun. Okay, so the operation may feel aligned with national identity. It may not. It's designed to feel patriotic, whether it is or not. Jupiter's still near the Sun, and so you get an expansion of American identity and ego. Yeah, of course. Thanks, Trump. The moon is conjunct Mars. I'd have to double check some of this. Okay, but the upshot here, let me just give you the upshot. Whatever justification is being given for this operation, the astrology says the fog machine is on full blast. Don't trust him. You don't need me to tell you that. But as far as Trump, the synastry of Trump, synastry is when you compare two charts, you put them over each other and see how the planets affect each other. SYN, synastry. Trump and Operation Epic Tantrum, as I call it. The issue is that Mars in his chart, which is how you take aggressive action, he's the soldier. Mars in the sky is opposite Trump's Mars. So in a sense, that would be destabilizing a bit, except one of the things about Trump's chart that makes me absolutely crazy is that on his descendant, he's got this mathematical point called the point of fortune. And it's a mathematical point based on where your sun is, your moon is, your rising sign, and whether you were born during the day or the night. And over centuries, probably thousands of years, I think this is very, very old, they have figured out that you have this lucky spot in your chart. And this transiting Mars is opposite his Mars, but it's on that. And the eclipse hit on that. So right now, this jerk is getting away with things he wouldn't normally because of that point of fortune being activated. But at the same time, that doesn't stop the heinousness of everything from the Epstein stuff to this attack to you name it. And just because someone gets luck once doesn't mean the luck is sustained. So if you're frustrated and feel like, why isn't he held accountable? Why have all these things been happening right here and he's still where he is? He's still in power. He has this moment here where his luck is bolstered, but that doesn't mean that's going to continue. So I just want you to be aware of that. Okay? This is not forever. It feels like forever. It's not forever. Okay. So, what else have I got here? So, do. Okay, but those Mars are opposite each other. So Mars in the sky is in Aquarius, which is about the collective, but his Mars is in Leo, who's like the head of the gold armored head guard at the palace. That's a Mars in Leo, and they're in those are in conflict with each other. What he wants, this glorious one and done, burnishing my armor, making me look good. That's not what this is. And he doesn't, of course, he's not going to get that. But Saturn is square as Chiron. Hang on just 1 second. Excuse me, sorry. Chiron's emotional truth. Okay, he doesn't get it. Uranus in the 10th house disrupts his legacy. This is not all good for him. Uranus in his 10th house, it disrupts his legacy. Uranus destabilizes. The thing that looks like a win for his career contains an earthquake. There's volatility he can't control. Operation Tantrum. Pluto's in his 7th house, which is enemies and allies. It's very transformative. Reshuffles who's with him, who's against him. And he doesn't see the cost coming. He doesn't. So he should come through relatively unscathed in the near term, like just right now. But Uranus and Pluto, they're not short-term pushovers. And the consequences are coming. So this was supposed to be contained, but it may lead to some other stuff. But yeah, okay. So anyway, that's what I have. Anne's asking, will any country retaliate and hit us in our country? That's a whole different topic. I can start looking that stuff up for tomorrow, but that's a lot. I mean, I can do some readings on it, but let's have a look. So Iran, it doesn't have missiles that can reach the U.S. for what it's worth. They do have missiles that can reach U.S. bases, which they have hit. I purposefully chose this overlay today because I just think it's so calming. There's a butterfly, and he saw a butterfly, but now I can't figure out where it went. It makes me happy. And I'm wearing this shirt because, like you, I didn't vote for this. Also, I was a little disappointed yesterday. My dramatic reading of Stephen Miller's texts, they got fewer views than my videos normally do. It's like, oh, I guess people didn't want to see that. But right now we are looking at how is this going to affect the U.S.? Wow. For what it's worth, the energy of like the spiritual energy to connect with, it feels very close. Sabine's asking for a friend, why don't you overthrow your government? because we can still vote. I mean, there are a lot of reasons, but it comes down to we can still vote. And as soon as we can't vote, as soon as, oh, you'll see, yeah. But Raymond's asking, will the situation escalate? That's kind of what I was talking about. Thank you, OMG, not that nonsense. So, I have chaos down the road, and this is what I was telling you about. Trump makes a mess, and sometimes and then he walks away. And there are consequences down the road, and of course, he's not going to take responsibility. King of Cups. This does help put Democrats in power, though. More. Thanks, Jumpy. Thanks for adding to the people who will vote for Democrats. Yeah. Because you are awful and an idiot. Okay. So there's Dumpy. Is he at Mar-a-Lago or is he at the White House? I can't remember which, but this is his base of power. And he's a big bully. I'm 100 feet tall. Look at me with my blonde hair blowing in the wind. Oh, look at me. Look at me. Look how trim and youthful and strong I am. Yes, but send out all those other people to do all the hard work. Yeah. Uh-huh. And this is going to hurt Republicans because you end up with the chaos of the moon at the end. If there are consequences coming stateside, it's going to take time. He's at Mar-a-Lago. Thank you, Brown. Well, that makes sense then. The Mar-a-Lago card right there. So, Sabine says maybe he thinks there's a war prize. Exactly. Traveling Tarot says they could be cyber. Don't fear violence. That may never come. Not scared, prepared. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I don't mean to fear monger. I hope you, longtime viewers, I hope you understand. I should have been clearer for newer viewers. We are going to get through this. We really are. See, and then the cards just go every day again. Just work a day. Resentments. He's building resentments. He's building resentments overseas. He's building resentments here in the U.S. This is evil corruption and being upset about it, but instead of being upset about it, you're just stewing in it. You're just sitting with it. You're quiet with it. But all of that is roiling underneath. Disappointment. No, this is not going to improve Republicans' chances in the midterms. Democrats looking better and better and better. And we're hurting here. They're hurting there. Yeah. Oh, Traveling Tarot, you're great. Thank you. You're okay. You're great. Queen of Pentacles, there's the Republicans adding insult to injury. You said no stupid wars. And the day before, in Oman, there was a breakthrough. Iran had made concessions to stop the nuclear proliferation or creation, rather. Yeah. But you went ahead and did it anyway. You and Netanyahu. People are going to be mad here. Very, very mad here. Joanne says, I hope baby boy Baron's the first one to get shipped out. Oh, that's adorable. We know that's never going to happen. Oh, boy. Okay. So, So what should we expect? Pam says Chicago's in the streets protesting. Good. Good. Oh, Ricky, as I'm shuffling. Ricky says, and the star of the show, the only kitty who taught Elvis Presley to dance and sing. The one and only Boo-Boo's and Kitty. Yes, he's asleep under the blankie right there. Sunny D and also some earlier people were saying, I hope this finally causes one of these countries to dump the files. Yeah. OMG, Not That Nonsense says, that's not what Bibi wanted. We need to see Bibi in Israel's charts. Well, I can get there. It just takes time. So maybe I can, I'll see what I can, what charts I can get for tomorrow. And hopefully everything will be much better organized. It's just been crazy. Also, Patreon this evening. Links in the description. If you go down into the description box, there are no expensive tiers, but you can join Patreon and last Saturday of the month, which is today, at 7 p.m. Central Time tonight from about 7 to 8:30. You can come on, and if you want, you can come on screen with me and others, and we talk directly to each other, and we have great discussions, and it runs everything from fun stuff like show us your tarot decks to, how are you getting through all of this to you name it. So that's this evening and at the last Saturday of every month. Patreon, links in the description. So that's tonight. So we have this, Creative Sprints, Patreon social. I'll see what I can get for tomorrow. People here are not happy. People here are not happy. Brian says, you're not fear-mongering at all, but this is not going to last very long. Oh, this part of it, maybe not. But like I said, when I referred to moving the embassy, it's down the road. This inspires stuff down the road. Says, no wonder I woke up at 3:30 and couldn't get back to sleep. There we go. I woke up. I woke up at 1:30 my time. Probably. Okay. We need to look at Congress because Trump's hoping this is a rally around the flag, which means him. Well, MAGA's been feeling pretty beaten up, so I guess this gives them something to think about, other than the fact that their leader, at bare minimum, protects PDFs, PD files. Work. This feels like propaganda, like a printer printing off flyers. Big. This isn't sort of truth. These are missiles in the air. This is big. A lot of worry. Bad will. The opposite of goodwill. Building bad will. All right, so let's look at Congress. I'm gonna have to look at the timestamp to work this out. At 34 minutes 45 seconds in. All right, Democrats are saying you can't go to war without telling us, and Republicans, of course, are like, well, I don't know. He wanted to, he felt like it, we don't go against the Orange Fuhrer. Yeah. So, I mean, presidents are still using the post 9/11 authorization of force stuff. And that's ridiculous. But all right, Congress, what are you going to do? Hello? It does feel like Congress is feeling emboldened. Obviously, there's still people who do the same thing they've been doing for years. Republicans saying, oh, the president with tears in my eyes, sir, sir. And then they literally call journalists, friends, and go, I hate this guy. I hate Trump. I hate what he does. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, profiles in courage. You scumbag. Bags, plural. Grace says Schumer's calling them all back to Congress to get their votes on record. Well, does he have the power to do it? Is Thune willing to do that? So, Congress. All right, so Dumpy took his MAGA garbage overseas. There we go. There needs to be, this isn't the courts. This is legislative. This is legal justification, legally allowed. Yeah, it happened right in the morning, just like broad daylight. MAGA out there, not happy about this. Not happy about this. Very unhappy about this. And while Republicans, of course, they always suck up to the Orange Fuhrer, when the reason they do that, other than the fact that they're cowards and scumbags, is that they're afraid of MAGA turning on them. But if MAGA's not happy as it is, if there's daylight between what the MAGA cult wants and what Donald Trump is doing, that could change some things. Oh, there we go. Where was that? Hang on. Come on, work with me. Sorry, my mouse time's out. There we go. Rob was saying, remember weapons of mass destruction that didn't actually exist? Good times. Yeah. Yeah. Patricia, GOP, Guardians of Pedos. There's Trump, full, his legacy. He doesn't, hey, Republicans, hi. He doesn't care about you. Not even a little. Just saying. Adding insult to injury. Absolutely emboldening Democrats who were like, no, we're not doing this foreign war thing. No. And more people vote for Democrats. So what is Congress doing? Not much. That's what I'm getting. But I'm getting it becoming very, very clear because the power in this situation, it feels like the energy is really with the people and what people are feeling. So where do we go from here? At 39 minutes, 30 seconds in, where do we go from here? Now that all of our children are growing. I wasn't going to sing Guns N' Roses, so my brain was like, I'm not singing that. So give me the other song. It doesn't matter. I am grasping at any more positive thoughts I can find. Where do we go from here? More blood on Dumpy's hands. Surprise. Quiet as a tomb. Democrats moving forward. Democrats consolidating their energy. Probably some more missiles or what have you, and more power, even more power to Democrats. Everything Trump does is giving power to Democrats. All of it. Every bit. There we go. Oh, Christine, thank you. The dramatic reading was the best thing ever. Outstanding performance. Oh, thank you. It was fun. You win the YouTube Actors Guild Award for Excellence. Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. That's very sweet. Thank you. Makes me feel better. Yeah, it didn't even crack 3,000, which is, I know that sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. I'm very, very grateful. But my videos used to, back in 2024, the videos were getting like 5, 6 or more thousand views, and now 3 if I'm lucky, but that's life. I just have to find a way to be more charming. All right. So, we have other stuff to talk about. And this may not seem like it is vitally important, but I believe it is and is going to be. So, all right, there's topic 2. I've got that there, and then I have more details. I have information in like 3 different places. Okay. So, okay, so at 4242, we're gonna have some real talk here. Whenever I talk about AI or make references to it, there are always some people who are saying it's too damaging. It's too damaging to the environment. It's too awful. I get that. I get that. It is bad. What I will say is that it is not all bad, because I think that we have gotten so used to the computers that we normally use, and the computer you're using right now, the electronic device you're using right now, to talk with everyone and do all this, that we don't realize the cost that is we've already been paying, and the environment's already been paying, which is why we have got to, in my mind, I will just say this up front, I believe that in the United States of America, all corporations should be B corporations, because not a C corporation or, whatever, S corporation, whatever, unless you're like just a little entrepreneurial LLC where it wouldn't make any difference, because all your, like for me, because I have my own small business, all the taxes, everything runs through my personal stuff, so there's no point for me being a B corporation. But anyone with employees and all of that should become a B corporation, because B corporations have in the way right now, big corporations are, by law, they have to put their shareholders' benefits first. But a B corporation does not. A B corporation has to do what it can to help it has to prioritize its employees, the environment, the community. It can't just be this money, 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 nothing else but money, money, money. It has to be a part of the community, of the world. And if we could do that, we could do a lot of good. So I push for that. And we've already, if we were going to, I think what's happening now started in the 90s, to be honest, with the rise of the World Wide Web. And so I'm going to go on from here and I'm going to talk about AI. And I know some people will be negative about it, and I understand that, but this is where we are. Oh, a cat mom, my gosh, that's huge. So the day doesn't completely suck. Thank you. Oh, bless you, cat mom. Thank you for the big group hug. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Patricia's saying, are they taxed differently? That's a Google question. It's all that information is really easy to find. So thank you. All right. Now that we have AI, what are we going to do with it? And that's the issue. Right now, the two biggest public players in the AI sphere is OpenAI, which has ChatGPT, and Anthropic, which has Claude. And you've probably heard of ChatGPT. If you haven't heard of Claude, I understand. But if you've probably heard of ChatGPT, and that is the sort of public-facing thing. Now, but you have to really focus on the parent companies, OpenAI, Anthropic. I used OpenAI's products, ChatGPT. I used them a lot until it's not very good. It's just not. It hallucinates horribly. It's got a bad attitude. I don't like it. I don't like ChatGPT. But I switched over to Claude, and that's helping me a lot. And I'm using Claude in conjunction with this site called Notion so that the work that Claude is doing has a home. So I don't have to repeat things. I don't have to keep going back and asking for information over and over. So it's helping organize my information, but it's also saving some of the electricity and having to run things over and over, because the AIs right now, they have limited memory, very limited memory. And so you need somewhere to put that information, or you just end up with a bazillion conversations that what was where, even if you separate them out into projects. Even and then you separate them out into the projects, like I do for my different projects and the different parts of my business. But the system was set up as if you would set up projects for like different customers or something, because what's in each of the projects is siloed from every other project and from just regular chat. It's like, you've got to be kidding me. Anyway, so there are things you can do to try to make what you're doing be more efficient, so that you actually end up having to use it less. So I am well versed. I am wading around in all of this a lot. So Anthropic decided it was going to work with the government, work with the Pentagon. And apparently when the US government went after Maduro, Anthropic, like Claude, Anthropic API, all that, Anthropic's AI was used. Now, there's conflicting information, because it sounds like it was really just used for more back-end stuff. Organize this, organize this, parse this, that kind of thing. But then Pete Hegseth, Kegsbreath, got involved. So while Anthropic, you can even share screen. There's even, let me share this with you. You've got Claude, which is where you go in and you have the discussions, but there's even a status page. So if you're having any troubles, you can go look to see if they are they're down or how it's going. And they've obviously been having some troubles. But you'll notice there are multiple lines here. And these are the different parts of their business. Claude AI, this would be the regular Claude that you would use. Claude API, this has to do with when you're connecting different services or you're talking directly to the back end. Claude Code is separate from text where you're talking to it. It's where you have it write code for you. But they added this line down here, Claude for Government. And you'll notice that's new. That only came into being on February 17th. So when I said I'm knee deep in this stuff, I'm not kidding. So Hegseth got involved and said, wait a second, Anthropic, that owns Claude, what are these limitations you've got on here? You've got to get rid of these limitations. And Anthropic said, ew, no, we're not getting rid of those. And apparently, Kegsbreath said, no, we need these to go away because we need to use this AI to attack, for attacks, and for mass public surveillance. And Anthropic said, get stuffed. As they should. So then Kegsbreath said that if Anthropic didn't drop its safeguards that doesn't allow Claude to do things like that, and there are all kinds of safeguards in place. There are. I'm not saying they're perfect, but there are a lot of safeguards. There are things I can't even ask it about unsubstantiated. Like I can't get it to help me. Like if I'm trying to get more information about something, anyway, it has these things where I can't just go in and ask for whatever I want. If there are unsubstantiated, really criminal, if there's unsubstantiated criminal behavior by even people in power, I have to be careful how I phrase it and what I'm asking for about information, because it won't just go, oh, okay, yes, that happened. No, it's careful. So Anthropic said, okay, well, Kegsbreath said, we will not only drop your contract, we will say that you are, what is the term? Hang on. We will say that you are a threat to the national supply chain, which is really bad. That would really hurt their business. And Anthropic thought about it and said, okay, here's the thing. And you're not going to hear, you will hear a lot of high level, like skimming about this, but this is usually the part you probably won't hear. It isn't even just that Anthropic said, no, we don't do that. We won't do that. But they also said, there are two reasons. One, it's just, we're not in that business. But two, AI is only so good right now. If you're trying to use it for bombings or attacks and all of this, we can't guarantee that it's going to be accurate. that's not how this works. This is not some perfectly foolproof. Anytime you go to AI, it says, like right on the bottom, it says, this AI can make mistakes. Double check important information. They're like, if you just take whatever AI there is out there right now and you just try to plug it in to a drone, that drone could end up spraying bullets on who knows, like on a just a whole group of people that have nothing to do with anything. Huge mistakes are possible. There are safeguards, not only because of what we do or do not want to do as a company, but because of the limitations of the technology right now. And Hegseth said, I don't care. And Anthropic said, sorry, and Hegseth said, you have until 5:01 p.m. Friday or you're out. And Anthropic said, then we're out. So Hegseth went to OpenAI. Remember I said there were two main players right now. There are some others, but the big ones, Anthropic, OpenAI. So Hegseth went to OpenAI, and OpenAI was like, as far as I can tell, it was like, sure, whatever you want. At least Hegseth was saying OpenAI is like, I can do whatever I want, so I'm going with them. Well, it turns out that now there's some talk that maybe OpenAI is like, oh, you know how we said you can do anything you want? Well, actually, there are some things here we don't want to do either. So, but yeah, Anthropic has definitely I was already having trouble with OpenAI. And you'll hear a lot about you'll hear about the CEOs of each company, excuse me. But mainly you'll just hear Anthropic, Claude, but on OpenAI, ChatGPT, you'll hear Sam Altman. Yeah. I've got my issues with ChatGPT and therefore OpenAI. And now I have even more of them. Because what do you mean you just said, okay, Hegseth, we'll work with you? So I'm pleased. I'm pleased that I chose well. But Hegseth is looking for, as we move more into drone warfare, there is a certain amount of, you're not going to be able to put this genie back in the bottle. There's no going back from computers from here. There just isn't. And they will increase in power and computing ability, because that's where we've been doing that. We've been on that trajectory for decades now, which is just looking back on my childhood. It's like, I remember being so bored when I was a child. I read a lot, but I just remember being bored. Anyway, so the question is, we need to support the companies that are going to act decently, are going to care about the community, are going to, if they're giving money to politicians, that they give money to Democrats. We need companies that are willing to have a moral code in their company. And personally, I think we need to increase technology, not in the sense of, if we can get quantum computing up and going, if we can get reusable energy going, if we can, there are ways to mitigate the environmental costs and the cost to the earth. But I understand there are people out there who are going to try to say, it's too bad, it's too damaging, we can't do any of this, it's all bad, don't use it. That's like being in 1993 and saying computers are bad, don't use it.
Was that for me?
No, it wasn't, but thank you. By the way, Claude is my name. And
have a great day. Say boss to you.
Nice try on the name. The O's pronounced close to an O, like those. Claude. Claude. Thank you. Yeah, I don't want to be I want nothing to do with cryptocurrency. Zero, zip, 0, 0, 0. None, no interest. Cryptocurrency is the point of cryptocurrency was to avoid regulation, which is just trafficking. It's just illegal trafficking. So I will never get near cryptocurrency. Forget it. Canadian poodle mom. Oh, so it's like being in the early 1900s of being afraid of electricity. Yeah. So, anyway. Oh, that wasn't. OMG, not that nonsense. As you'd think Claude would know how to pronounce a French name. No, that's Alexa. I just have a male voice on it. Yeah. So, Cindy says crypto is scam city. Oh, yeah. Anyway, but computing is computing. So, and this is one of the many, many books I have outlined. I have a book outlined about this. It's only so many hours in the day. Anyway. So I have a color organization channel here on, this was called Color Organization, Color Org, here on YouTube that I am going to be, later this year, I'm going to be putting up a lot of new content, and it's going to be about, it's basically about organizing your small business and whatnot in a way that you can, as a solopreneur or a small business, I guess some big businesses could use it, how to organize your information and make things as efficient and easy on you as possible, while also, because of that, it using up less resources to do it, because you get rid of the redundancy and you get rid of a lot of the repetition and stuff like that. So anyway, yeah, it's, computers in whatever form are not going away. They're just not. So, and we are in a very young state of this. This has just started in the last few years. This particular form. Knight of Pentacles, very much the AI bubble. It's a real thing. It's the big companies, like you have the AI companies, but then you also, some of the AI companies working with some of the people who make companies that make the internal, like the hardware, like NVIDIA. Them passing money back and forth basically is how you've ended up with this bubble. Yeah, and this is all we can do. So I don't know if you want nothing to do with computers. I applaud you. Stick to your own beliefs. But it's going to be increasingly difficult to thrive without getting a grasp on what's out there, what's available, and using it as ethically as you can, and trying to make it as environmentally friendly as possible. But it's not going to be perfect. Anyway, excuse me. Well, Silver says they're promising way more than they can deliver presently. Yep. But it's growing. It's growing. So, all right. Seeking the Shift says it already feels like we were getting hints to the energy shift when Uranus went into Gemini late April. 100%. 100%. And Uranus is going to go back into Gemini. And it's also, I know I've talked about astrology before, but if you can use AI to copy and paste, get your chart done on a website for free, like Astro-Seek. And Astro-Seek, when you create a free account, and you can just put your initials in, you don't have to put your full name or anything, but you can create your birth chart, and over on the right hand column, it even says copy the placements. And then down at the bottom, beneath all the explanations, there's a thing there's all this stuff you can copy and paste into AI. And so then it has all your information, and you can ask questions. So it's useful. I should make a video about that. Like right now, I know that Uranus, the planet of technology, is transiting and is about to start going over my ascendant, how I present myself to the world, which is also setting off my entire T-square with 6 planets. So I need to embrace, personally, I need to embrace technology. For these few years in here, I have got to do something with all that Uranian energy, because it's about to hit my life like a ton of bricks. So I need to channel that energy into something productive. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. Gosh, I've been on late, and but this is all important. I hope you're going to be. I hope you're okay. I do think we're going to be okay. I hope you're going to be okay. It is 1:25 p.m. here in Chicago. At 3 o'clock, I'll be over on the Creative Sprints channel. You're always welcome. We just try to be as productive as we can and encourage each other. But tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time is the monthly Patreon social. So you can stay in the chat if you don't want your face. It's a private live stream, but a lot of people, they come on screen with me, and we have discussions and talk and vent, and it's a lot of fun. All right, so that's tonight from 7 p.m. Central to about 8:30. Links in the description. And we are going to get through this. So please remember, you're not alone. We're in this together, and there are good days ahead. And I await the flames I will receive in the comments because I use AI. All right, take care. I'll see you later.